All right, let's get started. We're going to be tying the fish finder jig today. One that looks like this right here. We're tying it on the Deep Vee jig head by Northland Tackle. I choose to pinch down the keeper barb. I feel like ripping it off is pretty challenging. Using some black thread, just drop that on the hook there. If you're new to the channel, this is Red Bandy Outdoors. I'm Scott. We do a lot of light tackle angling for trout in rivers and streams and lakes. We like to catch anything out there, but trout's what we have, steelhead and salmon where I live here in Oregon, so we do a lot of fun light tackle angling for them, trout at least. And one thing that we use is the fish finder jig. So around here what you see is a lot of juvenile salmon, steelhead, trout, kokanee fry, and things like that in the water throughout the year, different times of the year when they hatch. So it's always good to have an imitation that you feel like is confidently mimicking that. And this is what I like to use, kind of a bright head, the micro pulsator rabbit tail, in a little bit of a contrasting body. So it starts out with the thread on the hook, the 1/16 Deep Vee. This has a real nice shaped head, very narrow pill head shape, tracks well in the fast current, drops fast. Put on some medium black wire, tie that on back to the hook barb. Then, like all the other fish finders, I really like this copper diamond braid or sparkle braid. So let's tie on a few inches of that. Get that pinned down in there. You know, you can be a little messy. We're going to wrap over it. This is going to be a very durable fly for you. Jig, hair jig, whatever you want to call it. I'm a fly fisherman, so I call things flies, but there we go. We have the wire pinned down in there. Now we're just going to go with the touching wraps, pull nice and tight on the diamond braid. This is going to be kind of our inner body. It's going to give us that flash that shines through some of that lighter color. The keeper barb, no big deal. Just go right up and over it. We just didn't need that sticking up in the way. And then wrap it up towards the front. You don't need to go right to the head because we got a lot of more steps to come in there. Tie that down. I'm going quickly because I want to show you guys it's not that big of a deal to tie one of these. You can rip out a box of these if you want. All right, so there we go. So now we're going to put down the rabbit. We have that micro pulsator and the white barb, like I said. The way I measure it is I measure from the tip of the jig head back to the end of the hook with my fingers. Boom, there's the tail. I put that on there. And then I kind of scooch it just a little bit more to give me some more, because I like that tail. Wet my fingers, open up a nice slot right there to get it in. Hang straight over the hook. One loose wrap, one loose wrap, one loose wrap. Tighten them up. All right, that looks good. Put them in the front. There we go. Get in there and trim that down. Trim that down, cinch that down. Oh, we knew that was going to happen. All right, let's just put in another one. Had a black thread run away from me earlier. See if we can get this one loaded up in there real quick. That's how you do it if you're a beginner. You just line it up and suck it on through. Comes right out. That other thread was getting a little bit, pretty much down to the end. This one here is slightly bound up, but we'll deal with that. Okay, so now we're tying it down. You know, it's nice and straight on the hook like that. We have our wire. We're going to separate that, pull that down like that. So now we have this. We'll let our fingers just a little bit stand up the mohawk. Just a little bit of wetting your fingers just so you can work the material. We want to come in right at the back of that diamond braid with a nice solid wrap. Right over it. Boom, pull that rabbit strip tight. Any stragglers come up. There we go. We got the mohawk. So now we're looking for our next spot to land it in there and kind of work forward. Boom. We're going for it. Boom. We're going forward one more time. Boom. We're coming for one more time. Nice and neat, evenly spaced. Might catch it one more time right there, just a little bit in the front, just for the point of it. There we go. Lock it down. Good little slot right there in front of the rabbit strip. Come in with our thread. Good to go. So now we're going to helicopter that off. Make sure that's tight in there before we try that. And there we go. So now we have the fly. Like I say, most of the time you could fish it probably just like that and have a pretty good day if you know what you're doing. So now we're just going to flip it over and add what's important is the to the contrast, the color, and the strike triggers and everything is we use the red marabou. I have this kind of prepped up, cleaned up, prepped up to just pop it in there. And we're going to use that as the strike trigger for the gills or kind of a bleeding injury. Catch their attention. Little extra yumminess on there. Make sure that's on there the way we like it. Stretched out to about the hook point. Tie it down in the front. Lock it down again right here. Nice and neat. Kind of pull that tight, give it a twist. Trim that hook. Come down on it. Ah, we broke again. It's because this was all twisted around there. I didn't just show you the trials and tribulations. Cut your thread clean. Put it back on your bobbin without any twisting around. If it's going to be good to us, it's going to just come right on out. Get the length of it out there a little bit. Thread it in there like I did. Suck it through. Boom. Second time. No problems. Let's move that back so it's not in the way. Get that down. Boom. Get those threads together. Those tag ends. Tie that off. Boom. Done. You'll never know when you buy that on my website in a few months that I broke the thread twice on that guy. Boom, there you go. Strike trigger, bleeding gills, injury, whatever you want to call it. Very important part of the fish finder jig. Here we are. The next step, we have sculpin olive, dark sculpin olive, whatever color you like, just a contrast against that white. We don't need a lot of it, so we can make sure we get back into the feather. Where the fibers, the marabou fibers are the longer ones. So we make just kind of a little bit of a tie-in right there. Looks like that. Work through it. Lay it on there. And then tie her down. Get it nice in there, nice and tight on both sides. Get it tied back right to where you want to start wrapping up against the white. Clip off the front. Good to go. Use your hackle pliers. Grab that prepped up main fiber, that stem. Hackle stem. Whoops, sorry about that. Hit the camera, come around. Make sure your thread's up to the front of your hook. That'll work. Don't grab any fibers if you have to do that. Okay. So now we're lined up. We're going to do probably 2 wraps. 1 full wrap. Make sure there's no fibers we're grabbing. 2 full wraps. All right, that's just about right for ultra finesse. 2 wraps. We're gonna come around nice and neat, get through there, move those out of the way. Let the thread work through. You might pinch 1 or 2, go around it, over it, in front of it. Now you're coming out in front of it. Some of those guys out of the way. Boom, we've got it locked down. We'll go in front of it again just because we're here. Eye was getting me there. Okay, boom. Go behind it one more time. Work through there. This looks good. We just want to get it locked down before we cut it off. Okay. Okay, so now we're just going to look in there. Get our scissors in there. We can see that fiber, that main filament of the haggle. Cut it, pull it out. A couple will pull through. Now you can kind of see it, feel it in there where you just cut. You give it a little stubby. Tie around that like a little branch. Lock that down. Okay, so now you're good. So you can mess around with it. Get in here with your bodkin and see if you did trap any fibers. You know, the more times you wrap it, the more it's going to be wanting to trap fibers. But let me tell you, 2 wraps is more than enough. You get that real flowy look out of it right there. You can see that. Right, just any little breeze, any little motion of the current is going to make that. So we'll lock that down really good. Go to the last step. I think there's a little bit we want to trim off there with that. Last step is going to be the Flashabou, gold speckled Flashabou, 3 strands per side. This is the lateral line. This is the flash. Like every lure has some flash. This has flash. Just lay it clear straight on the side, flat across the middle of the eye. Wrap it once, twice, 3 times. Go in front. I'm going to cut that off right there, and I'm going to lay it on your side so you can see. Whoop, we almost dropped one. Go boom. We're going to go right on there. We're going to go right down the middle of the eye. Longer than the fly. We're going to grab those. Make sure we grab those. Good. Boom. We'll go in front. And then there you go. We will just trim those. One can go in back if it wants. I mean, I don't even really care if there's 4 on one side and 3 on the other. You just tie that down nice. Come back here. Oh, they're actually pretty good. I could just trim just a tiny little bit at the edge of the marabou. Good that I got them right to the end there. Yep, they're all pretty good. And then we'll just finish that collar nice and good. Then the whip finish. Hook the thread underneath. Catch it underneath. Whoops. Make a triangle. Lay it on there. Wrap. Again, see if you can see this with the way I have the camera set. You hook it around the bottom. Flip it over, make a triangle. Lay it in there. Wrap over the thread. Pop it out with the hook. Boom, you're done. That's the fish finder jig. It's going to imitate most bait fish in any of your streams or lakes, ponds. It's going to catch any species of fish that has a mouth and a belly. Thanks for watching. Come back and see some more.